The Cold War was the greatest geopolitical rivalry of the 20th century, a tense standoff between the United States and the Soviet Union that began in the aftermath of World War II and lasted for decades, fueled by ideology, politics, espionage, and above all the nuclear arms race. Both superpowers built massive stockpiles of atomic weapons capable of destroying the planet many times over, and nowhere did this rivalry come closer to ending civilization than during the Cuban Missile Crisis of October 1962, a confrontation that shook the entire world. Cuba, just 90 miles from Florida, had become a communist ally of the Soviet Union after Fidel Castro's revolution, and when American spy planes captured shocking photographs of Soviet nuclear missile sites under construction on the island, President John F. Kennedy and his advisors were stunned, immediately realizing that for the first time Moscow had the ability to launch a devastating first strike directly on American soil. Panic spread through Washington as generals pressed for immediate airstrikes while others urged restraint. But Kennedy, aware that a misstep could unleash global war, instead announced a naval blockade around Cuba, publicly declaring that any attempt to bring in more missiles would be seen as an act of aggression. The world watched in terror as Soviet ships carrying more weapons sailed toward the blockade line. And for several days, every hour seemed to edge closer to nuclear war. Schools across America held emergency drills, families rushed to build fallout shelters, and ordinary citizens lived with the fear that tomorrow might never come. Meanwhile, Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev sent conflicting letters to Kennedy, one proposing a peaceful solution and the other filled with harsh warnings of retaliation, further confusing the already tense situation. Then came Black Saturday, October 27, 1962, the most dangerous day in human history, when a US U-2 reconnaissance plane was shot down over Cuba, and American generals demanded an immediate invasion, while nuclear forces were placed on maximum alert, ready to launch within minutes. At that critical moment, back-channel diplomacy became the only hope, and Attorney General Robert Kennedy met secretly with the Soviet ambassador, working out a hidden compromise in which Moscow would remove its missiles from Cuba if Washington agreed to quietly withdraw its own Jupiter missiles from Turkey, a deal that would never be revealed to the public at the time. Under immense pressure, Khrushchev accepted, announcing on Radio Moscow that Soviet missiles would be dismantled and shipped back home, allowing the crisis to end without war. The world exhaled in relief, but the truth remained concealed. America claimed public victory while the secret trade stayed hidden for years. In the aftermath, both superpowers realized how close they had come to mutual destruction, and steps were taken to reduce the chances of such a catastrophe ever happening again, including the establishment of the Washington-Moscow hotline for direct communication and the signing of nuclear arms control agreements. Yet the legacy of the Cuban Missile Crisis endures as a chilling reminder of how fragile peace can be and how diplomacy, restraint, and secret negotiation prevented the annihilation of millions, making it the ultimate symbol of Cold War brinkmanship and the terrifying reality of living under the shadow of nuclear war.